Hi, guys. It's HB and Michelle, and we're here to talk about The Housemaid.
by Freida McFadden.
Everybody's
But
read it. Everybody's read it at this point. I feel
uh,
like it's for some people and it's not for some people.
it was like the hottest book for a year straight. And I don't know why.
Well, I know why, and I've done some research,
Tell
and
me. Tell me
I'm
why.
here to break it down for the people. I
Okay.
think it was so popular. A lot of what I'm seeing online is her writing is just very to the point, no fluff. It's great. It's a great read for people that have short attention spans
Yes. Yes.
because she's like, bop, 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 bop,
Yes.
moving. And so that's like really great for people that like have a trouble keeping up with characters. And even though it's like a dual,
POV.
POV, it's
Yeah.
still easy to keep up with and it still moves along, especially at the end. People just tear right
Yeah.
through.
Well,
And so I think that's why it's so popular.
and I also think that like Freida McFadden's writing is just like not very elaborate. It's not that it's not good, but it's not
Right.
great. It's just easy to follow. It's just easy.
It's an easy read. And I think that's what she's going for. She is a brain surgeon. I don't know if anybody knows this, but I was on
Hallie
her
Bell was
book research.
speechless over this fact.
I was speechless. She is here writing the dumbest books because she knows how our brains work. Okay?
The facts. The facts.
She's smarter.
She knows how to get us in the head.
Could she
Yeah.
write a Bridgerton novel? Yes.
No. Oh.
Listen. She could. She has the brains.
Yeah.
She just knows that readers, they just want something digestible. Most readers out there today.
Yeah.
They want a Netflix show.
Yeah.
They
And
want a short series.
yeah, and all of her books very well could be a Netflix show, but
100%. I just think that this book, if you're not a reader, it's a great, just something to give to that friend.
ooh, and I said in my review of this book, and I have said on I say all, I've only read two of her books, but I say that like Freida McFadden writes thrillers for people who don't usually read thrillers.
Yes. Like I don't usually read thrillers, but my stomach was churning at the first page. Like I was like, uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
Meanwhile, I
Like
was like,
I said, what are we getting into? The
what?
cops are here, murders happened, and here I am. I'm supposed to be in a rom-com. Like, I don't know if
It's
this is for me.
it might
But then
not
it
be.
was, but then it was for me because I was just like, okay, this is a baby thriller for, a baby
For babies.
for a baby.
Wait, so what did you rate the book?
I'd give it a solid 3.5.
That's exactly what I gave it.
Okay.
But for
See?
very different reasons, I think.
Okay. Well, let's dive into the plot and kind of go over some of the high points. Do you want to do some questions?
I guess. And I don't think it's even necessary to do like a summary of this book because if you haven't read it, you shouldn't be watching this.
Yeah, because this is a spoiler, this is a spoiler video, and
Yeah.
we don't have any apologies for that.
No. And everyone in the world has read this stupid book. So it's not stupid, but
Listen, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna play angel's advocate because listen, I'm doing the Lord's work
you
with
are.
advocating for this book.
You know what? You know what's so sad too is Freida McFadden likes every single thing I tag her in.
Michelle, because she
She
knows
knows.
she knows she's a brain surgeon.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, anyway, into the
Okay,
questions. What do you
into
have?
questions. All right, let me get them pulled up here. So just short summary for if you had, I don't know,
Yeah.
this girl, she's fresh out of prison.
Fresh. Like she just stepped foot out of prison.
And she's looking for a job. She interviews to be a nanny at a wealthy family's home. She doesn't know what she's getting into. Nina, the head of the home, is kind of crazy and puts her through the ropes, puts her through the ringers. And the husband's just sort of in the background as an innocent bystander in all of this. No, he's not.
He doesn't get enough credit in this book, honestly.
Honestly, I mean, he really. I think I had a lot of twists. There was a lot of twists and turns for me that I was like, what?
Well,
Um,
where'd that come from? Yeah.
he turns out that he's locking his wife upstairs in a closet, torturing her, and Millie has or wait, Nina has invited Millie
Yep.
to replace
To
her in
replace
this
her.
terrible situation.
Yeah.
Millie, little does she know she's, well, she does know that she's out of prison, but she can handle her own. She gets herself out of the situation by then, in turn, locking him in the attic and
And
torturing him.
and sleeping with him, which
Oh, yeah.
I
I
think
glossed over that.
isn't talked about enough. Because Nina, the wife, is like, I've got to find the perfect girl for my husband. And I think that was iconic. She was like, now who is my husband gonna like?
A 100%. And then this girl comes in smoking hot, comes fresh out of prison. He's crazy.
Baggage.
She's crazy. Make
Perfect.
it work.
And it does.
And it does.
Oh my gosh.
It all goes according to plan. Okay,
Yeah.
so now let's dive in to some of the questions. Right for Nina to make the plan so early on, or was there a way for her to get out of her relationship? So was it right for Nina to set up Millie? What do you think?
I think personally that they should have gone in on it together. Like, I wish that Nina told her from the get-go, like, listen, girl, you've been in prison. You're capable of this.
You've
Here's
got
how
what I need.
you've got exactly what I need. So I think she should have included her.
Women supporting women.
Yeah.
And that's what I have to say about that. It's like, yeah, they could have joined teams. They could have gotten the daughter in on it. Three
Oh, for
against
sure.
one, he's going down.
Yeah. Even though she's like 7.
You don't have to like use her as like a pawn, Like,
Yeah.
you can like incorporate her. She can handle her own.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I don't think this was the right plan.
No, it could have been a
But
lot
was
better.
it a fun plan? Yes.
Yeah.
Was it
I
fun
guess.
for her? I guess so.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, Nina had fun. I want to talk about the plot of this book
Yeah.
specifically because I feel like it's so overdone. Like,
Mm.
this book, I've read this exact same book 5 times before.
But
Like,
have you? Because okay, same plot, but different accessories. The torture
yeah.
are so outlandish to me because I think everyone is
Yeah.
there when they have like accidentally pulled some hair out and it like has the follicle in it and you're like, man, that kind of hurt. Imagine doing that. And then also, I was just thinking during that during that tortured scene, like she's pulling out her hair, he has to like count those
Yeah.
hairs. And
Yeah.
like, poor
He's
him.
he's not doing that. He's not counting the hairs. Ugh.
Like, but I guess he does because he's like, there's one missing.
He's a freak.
He's like, one doesn't have a follicle. Like, do you think he was out there just
Maybe he had the daughter in on it and she was counting the hairs. I don't know.
No, daughter was team mom all
Daughter was team mom. Yeah, that was actually like the saddest scene for me was when the daughter is like, I wear the pretty uncomfortable dresses because I know if I don't, my mom is gonna go away, like go upstairs and be locked away.
that was torturous. And see, that was good writing. I really did feel empathy for her.
Yeah.
But then let's touch back one more at the tortures with the books. That was one like I just couldn't imagine. Like, cause like you pulled out a hair before, yes. Have I sat with a bunch of books on my stomach? No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I had a hard time relating to that one.
Yeah, I was trying to compare it to like the reverse of like doing a plank with like people putting weights on your back. That's what I was thinking. Well, and sometimes I like wake up in the middle of the night and the cat is like sitting on my chest and I'm like like struggling to breathe. So I was like, okay, I get it.
I guess the most torturous part was for me when she went to the mini fridge and there was like a little water bottle.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, it's like she's on an airplane.
Yeah.
And they give you this tiny water and you're in this dehydrating environment.
Like 7 almonds.
It's literally like being on an airplane
Yeah.
in this attic.
One of my other questions was how shocked were you by Enzo and Nina? Because I was rooting for Enzo the entire time. I was like, this is it. This is the guy. This is the one we need to be watching.
I come from suburbia and I'm just like, she has a full-time live-in nanny and a
And a
gardener
gardener?
who's outside all the time. I'm like, Enzo is just trying to like, you know how you dilly-dally at work sometimes just to like rack up a couple of extra hours? Like we used to do that in college. Well, that's how I feel like Enzo.
Enzo's like pulling fake weeds.
I feel like, what is their yard? I mean, I'm like, it cannot be that big. It just needs to be mowed. And I think at one point, Andrew actually calls it out and he's like, you don't need to be here all the time.
Yeah, he's like, why is he here all the time? What is he doing?
And that's fair as a paying customer because I really
100%.
feel like, I mean, I know he's trying to save her life, but like he's dilly-dallying on someone else's time.
Yeah, yeah. But was he trying to save Millie though? Like, was he? I don't think so.
He loved Nina.
He
I mean,
loved Nina.
he knew it was wrong what Nina was doing, like switching the girls. But I just don't think he could. I just don't think he did enough. Like, I mean, if that's your prerogative, like, say you need to do like some work in the back and like open up a window, like escape route. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah. Put a full
could have
size
been doing
water
more.
bottle in there.
Enzo could have been doing more.
He could have been doing more. Definitely could have.
But she did really paint him out to be kind of dreamy. Like, I was like, I'll be honest, I was like, Enzo, wonder what he's like.
Yeah. And I was rooting for him. I was like, I like their love story and I would like to see more of it.
I like their love story, but I'm also like, she needs to like take some time and recover.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
like she doesn't need to jump into anything with the gardener. Like, I mean, yeah, play, have fun with the gardener, but like,
Spend time on yourself, girlie.
and your daughter. I'm like,
Yeah,
God.
really.
I wanted to bring up a topic that's been like online. People have been talking about this big plot hole in the book, which is the supermarket scene.
Yeah.
It's been a conversation on BuzzFeed, and I was like quite entertained by it because it really is true. Like, it's the scene where she's in the grocery store and she's doing all the shopping, and Nina keeps calling her, which we've all been there.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's more guys that have been there. Like they're at the grocery store and the wife is like calling to
The bread, the eggs, the milk.
and like adding like random complicated items
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you've never heard of. Like I can imagine this was like me when I was like 15, like going to like my mom would send me down the aisle to look for like something that I was not qualified to look for.
You're like, I don't know where the mung beans are.
But anyways, she's getting like these calls, she's stressed out, and then all of a sudden like the supermarket gets like a tip that she's like stealing.
Yeah.
And like she's like sweating and she's like it's like not said, but it's assumed that it's Nina. But that's kind of a plot hole because like why Nina doesn't want to get rid of her. She doesn't want her to go to jail.
Yeah.
There's this alternate theory that it's Enzo.
But why?
I guess to like put her in jail because she's safer in jail than she is
Maybe.
in the house.
But like he's kind of in on it. I don't know. I wish I had more feelings about this scene because it is pretty intense and I have no idea who it could be.
There is another theory that it's Andrew and he's like caught on to kind of what she's doing, but it doesn't make sense moving forward that he knows anything that's going on.
I wonder if that's before or after their like weekend away where they go into the city. It's before.
It's before.
I don't know. Freida McFadden, if you're watching this, tell us.
Yeah, I want an answer because I thought that was a great question and
Yeah.
definitely a plot hole that I didn't think about. But I'm like, yeah, why would she want Millie to get locked up?
Yeah,
She's
no,
like, you know what I mean? Like,
that
it
makes
doesn't make
sense.
sense because everyone just assumes it's Nina.
But why would Nina send her away to then get herself back in the attic? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. So it has to be Enzo.
But why would Enzo do it? Because then Nina would still be back in the attic, and that's the woman he loves.
Yeah, it really doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, unless it was Enzo with an escape plan for Nina so that both of the ladies were gone at the same time. I don't
Oh,
know.
Nina would go down to the police department well, okay, and that kind of leads me to my
Ooh.
favorite scene is at the end when it turns out that the police officer is the dad of a former victim.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, I didn't see that coming. And some people
I
criticize
didn't.
it as just kind of like reaching for straws, like just like throwing like shock, 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 just to
I
like put
liked it.
people through the book. But I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was very full circle, and like you're just getting all this justice. Like you're like, she got him in the attic. She's torturing him. She's out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's the police dad, and she's gonna get out for real. You know what I
Full
mean? Like it was
circle.
victory, 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 all
Yeah.
the way to the end of the book, and I like that.
Yeah. Well, okay, so speaking of the end of the book, I want to talk about Andy's mom
Oh yeah, this is
because
another discussion online.
is she the villain here, Andy's mom? Because like he wouldn't be the way he was if it weren't for her.
I don't know.
Is it
So
you have boys? Is it parenting or is it your subconscious?
sometimes you just want your kids to turn out all right. and, and you don't have any control. But it does seem to point that she tortured him and
A
put us.
100%. A hundred
Like,
percent.
does he have veneers? Like, what?
Yeah. I,
I don't know. I just think that
I
it was
wanted more of
kind
her mom,
of
of his
like
mom.
she was just trying to give a nod, like everyone has a past.
Yeah.
There's a reason why people are victims, like just kind of like ringing true to that, like giving him some sort of substance, I guess, like just
Yeah.
totally not a monster and like making his mom a monster and like
Yeah.
her mom was a monster. Because I do think like on a more serious note that abuse is like passed down.
Yeah.
There is that, it's that circle that they talk about in psychology where it's like the teacher yells at the student who comes home and yells at the dad who turns out to be the boss who's you know what
Yeah.
I mean? It's so circular. And so I think she
Yeah.
was kind of pointing to that's where abuse stems from.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. I just like, I kind of felt bad for Andy. I was like, maybe he's not so bad. I don't
Yeah,
know.
poor the little boy Andy was getting tortured by his mom.
Seriously. Like his mom was just such a perfectionist that now he's torturing his wife.
Yeah, and she can't have roots.
Yeah. God forbid.
What just and she could have been a little bit more clever about some of those things. Like I would have been like, I'm gonna grow it out. I don't want roots anymore. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm gonna go brunette.
I'm going
I'm
natural.
going out natural.
Wait, while we're on the topic of what she looks like, I am
Oh
very
yeah,
passionate. I'm very, very passionate about the fact that I think Kate Upton would be the perfect Nina.
great call. That's
Because
a
she like she's
really good call.
she's not like a size 2. She's got the blonde hair.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's who I was seeing the whole time. And I was seeing Enzo. I'm still on Enzo. I was seeing
Oh
him
yeah.
as what's his name? Fez from that 70s show. What's that actor's name?
Oh, good. I have
That
no idea, but I know exactly. And I was picturing the little girl. This is
Ooh.
so because she's supposed to be like a little creepy.
Yeah.
But if we had a dream cast, like a young Dakota Fanning,
Ooh,
like
okay.
around in the little dresses with like the bob, like
Yeah.
just it's like she would play that character very, very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't really know for Andrew. I mean, it could be like a faceless like Hallmark person for me.
Any white male on in a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know if you guys watched Christmas with a View on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's
Ooh.
written by AI. Just a side tangent. But he the guy, the villain in that who's who I was picturing as Andrew. I know this is kind
Ooh.
of niche, but like if you are like still watching Christmas movies, I think it's
Ooh.
still on Netflix and it's hilariously bad.
Mm. I gotta
And
watch it.
the villain is Andrew.
Wait, who for Millie? Because I have no idea.
Honestly, like this is so not right, but I was picturing like Kristen Stewart, Twilight. Like she's just kind of like,
We're we're so different because I was picturing like just a first thing that came to my head was like a very dark Amanda Seyfried. Is that how you say her name?
Ooh, I like that.
I
No,
don't know.
it's made vibes.
Doesn't she? That's horrible to say. Oh well.
You know who Nina is. It's our
Who?
old boss.
Stop it.
I'm not gonna name names, but Michelle and I worked at a spa,
Oh my God.
and this is how we met. And we
Mm-hmm.
worked for a boss that would do not similar things, but like somewhat
She
similar
definitely
things.
didn't torture me.
She didn't torture per se, as she would just like, you know how like she would clean the kitchen and then she would come back in and it'd be like a mess, and she'd be like, "Why didn't you clean this kitchen?" Like that was classic this boss. Like
Yeah.
she was so nuts like that. I'm gonna touch on this one time where she had Michelle and I rearrange the whole front of the spa, all the products, everything. And she
I'm
was like
sweating.
very obsessed about it. And then we see her coming in with a huge armoire to put, and she's so excited about it. But yet she's had us all day rearranging the spa.
And it's like neon blue.
And now she wants us to rearrange it to work into this massive cabinet.
This neon blue armoire. That's
We didn't say a single word the
we were
whole
just like
rest. We had worked so hard on all the displays. I mean, it was a ton of product. I would say about like 1,000 things we moved around, like in the front of the
easily.
store,
Easily.
like
Ugh.
socks, facial products. I mean, she sold scarves. She sold like wraps. And, like,
Purses.
I will never forget. She just wielded it, and it was like such a Nina moment.
It's so Nina. Like, you're gonna do this. It's gonna look great. And then you get done. You're proud of it. And Nina is like,
And it was like
could be better.
4:30, and the
Yeah.
spa closed at 5:30.
But see how we're laughing about it now. Like,
Yeah,
I think that this is full circle because I think that Nina and Millie are laughing about it.
I hope so. I really hope in fictional world that they are laughing about it, because I just could not live with this type of torture. I would just be like, you know what? I can't pull out any more hair, so I'll just rot in here.
I'll just rot. Ugh.
And that's how
I think she could have done more to try to escape. That's all I'm saying. And one of the notes
I
I wrote was like at one point when it's Nina's like past point of view, she goes willingly back into the attic. Like,
yeah.
do you not have a baseball bat? Do you not own anything in your house? Your boyfriend is a gardener. Grab a hoe and hit him.
Why is he not? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why is he not going up there with her? Just make
Yeah.
sure everything's okay. Like
Yeah.
he could have done. There was several moments for Enzo to shine as a hero, and he really, really delayed that to the.
Maybe Enzo's the villain. I'm just saying.
I don't know. I would say that.
No, I
think
love Enzo.
more like, I think he's just more like not as sharp as these ladies. Like he's a gardener. He's a simple man.
He's a simple man. He's not a brain surgeon. That's all I'm saying.
And that's on Freida McFadden.
And that's on Freida McFadden. Okay, I want to talk about why you gave this book 3.5 stars.
Okay, here's why. I think it's just, I was shocked by it. I read it quickly. I thought that, things tied together pretty well for me until they were pointed out not so much online. And I just, I felt like I could hand it to a friend and be like, oh, you'll enjoy this. Actually,
Actually.
my uh, babysitter who watches my son
Ooh.
was reading this book, and she was going to start it at our house. And I said, no.
Absolutely not. That's so creepy of you, HB.
I said, I downloaded it on my iPad. I had it on my iPad from when we read it. And I was like, you can read it, but like, don't read it.
Wait.
I was like, I'm going to send you the link. Please read it at home. I was like, I just want you to get any creepy vibes at this house.
And can I just say something? Your house, it gives. It gives the housemaid.
I live in a Victorian house. It's got very high ceilings. I just did not want.
It's got some weird nooks and crannies.
I just didn't want her to have those thoughts like associated with our house. Like,
If you're watching this, HB is not going to torture you.
I'm really not, because here's why. And I always thought
Here's
about this
why.
about I always thought about this with kids in school, like how they would like take away our water bottles because one kid wrote the answers on the back of the water bottle. And I was like, listen, I'm just not sharp enough for this. I'm like, let me have my water. Like, I promise I will never even think about it, even though you told me that that's a way to cheat. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not how my brain works. Like, I just like don't go for the intricate
No.
harassment.
No.
Or
That's
just
so.
or just like evil behavior in general. Like, my mind
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
I don't go to sabotage. I go to like, it must be something wrong with me.
Yeah. You're like, well, what can I change?
What can I do better?
Here's the thing. I gave this book 3.5
Oh yeah,
stars
let's hear
because
your.
I read a lot of I'm currently reading my Goodreads review because I also want to say we read this book in June of 2023.
Yeah,
It
it's
has
been a
been
while.
It's been months. And like earlier, HB texted me and was like, what do you think about this? And I was like, I have no clue what you're talking about. And she was like, Michelle. But this
It
is
stuck with you, sorta. It stuck with you, sorta. Like,
only because I knew at one point in our lives we would talk about it. And I took a lot of notes. But I just think, like I said, I like Frida McFadden as a person. I think I think she's so smart. I just don't love her writing. And I've read two of her books and now I'm listening to one. So I'm like, I'm not going to give her writing a good score. I'm not going to give the plot a great score because it feels overdone to me. Like the whole time I was reading it, I was like, this is Verity. This is the wife upstairs.
yeah, a lot of
But
people.
there were like the shock factors.
Well,
Like
Colleen Hoover is just a different writer. I know people were saying like the plot is similar, but it's just a different
she's
vibe.
so different.
It's
Yeah.
this is like just turning on something really quick to watch. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not an experienced reader as Michelle. I'm relatively
That's not
new.
true.
I'm
No,
a,
no.
well, I read a lot in like high school for school, and like I went to a very academic school, so like I read a lot of things for that, and I read a bit in college. But Michelle reads like 5 books a week.
I just read for fun.
She reads for fun, and she reads a lot for fun. So
Well, I try, and I try for
you
this
have more.
reason.
You have a you have like a filter, like, because you're trying to get through books, and like if the book is like not booking for you, you're like, gotta go.
Throw in the garbage. Well, and I also read a lot of like advanced reader copies through NetGalley. So, for
Right.
instance, like I've read a bunch of thrillers that I got on NetGalley that I like did not like at all, so I can like kind of compare.
And I think that's a great little intro to like who Michelle is, giving her reviews on these types of books. Like, take her reviews with what she has, which is like a big background in books. And then
Well,
me, I'm just like happy to have a book in my hand, and I'm like
yeah,
happy to like be getting through some words on some pages, because I have a baby and a toddler, and when I get time to read, I'm just happy to be here.
you're just happy to
So
be here.
cushion my scores with that.
And I think that that's why this is the perfect duo,
Yeah,
because like you're just happy to read the book and I'm just happy to critique the author. And I like Frida McFadden. It's not that I don't like her. I think my 3.5 stars was good. Like, that's not a bad rating for me by
that's
any
a stellar
means.
book. I mean, you would hand it
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't read it again. And I wasn't thrilled, like, about how it played out. And I'm probably not gonna read the second book. I
I
might if I'm like,
really want to read this.
no, like if I'm in a slump, maybe I will because I know what to expect out of Frida McFadden's books. But I would recommend this to someone, and I think I have recommended it to people who don't typically read thrillers because that's who I think she writes for.
Here's the thing: I wouldn't read the sequel, but I'd read another Freida McFadden.
Wait, have you? Yeah.
I know, and I haven't. And this is the
See,
only one
yeah,
I've read of her. And I'm like, okay, I'd pick up another.
yeah, yeah. See, I just read Never Lie, and again, all of her houses are kind of like your house, but Never
Oh,
Lie is a
she needs
Frida
to come to my house for writing
Should,
inspo.
should we invite her over?
Okay, if you're listening, you are invited to my home. You will have to sleep next to my toddler's room.
But that's
Um,
okay.
but it's a nice room and it's got its own bathroom. So I don't know.
All the-
It's
And
out there.
it could inspire a book, but the book I read, Never Lie, is about this like newly married couple that goes house hunting. That's
Ooh.
all I'm gonna say. They get stuck in this house in a snowstorm. And I liked it. I think I gave it
I
three and a
like that
half
book.
stars. Yeah. I
See,
think
she
I
likes
gave
the boom, boom, boom. And I think that's what she's trying to deliver. She's
yeah,
not trying to deliver up here. She's
no,
trying to deliver right here.
yeah.
And
Good.
it's down here. And not down here. Because I've read
No.
some down books.
Well, I just want to like down here. I want to talk about
Yeah.
my favorite one-star review on this book, which was a girl on Goodreads. Her name is Lauren. I think I can't pull it up right now. I'm gonna try and find it. Make sure her name is Lauren.
Oh my god.
All it said, do not like. And like,
And there you have it.
and there you have it. No, it's just hysterical to me. This is good, and I agree with it. Millie was just an unbearable female main character. And like, you didn't want to even like her.
Like Kristen Stewart. No, stop.
It's Kristen Stewart. It's Kristen
Bella.
Stewart. Yeah, I don't know. But
Yeah, and it's hard when you're not rooting for anybody in a book. I mean, and that's really what's holding it back for me. Like, and I mean, sure, like at
yeah,
the end, like, go, Millie, go. But like, I didn't like love her. Like, I'm just like happy she's
yeah,
getting out. Like as if I would anyone getting out. Like,
yeah,
doesn't mean that I like adore her as a person. It's just like I'm glad that she's getting out because I don't want to see a person die.
for sure. Halliwell, you have to read Never Lie because I was like rooting for someone. And I thought that the reason I didn't love The Housemaid so much was because I just thought it was predictable. And
Mhm.
Never Lie, like when it clicked for me, I was like, oh, this, like it makes sense. I was like, this is good. And I was like rooting for the person. And then when it clicked, I was like, now this is a good thriller, you know?
Wow. Okay, I'm really interested. I really like the sound of the plot. If anybody wants to read it with me, maybe I'll do some
Ooh.
comments and we can like bounce off.
Oh, that's a great
Yeah,
idea. For our 3 viewers, if anyone wants to.
mom.
Anyway, those are my thoughts on the book.
Oh, let's judge the cover. So we're gonna be doing a segment at the end of most of the books that we read, and we're gonna like judge the cover, like because we're called cover to cover girls.
Amazing.
So did notice that it is the same cover as the sequel, except one eye is blue and one eye is brown in the keyhole, and I
Oh.
thought that was interesting.
Because, like, whose eyes?
Yeah, because it's not the same. It's not Millie.
Yeah. I want to say I hated the cover of this book,
The
and I'm
color's
sorry.
wrong.
The cover is so wrong. And actually, while we're here, I think I still have it pulled up. The reason I didn't like the cover is because it says, please hold,
Oh
it
yeah.
says, from behind closed doors, she sees everything. That's not true.
It's really not, and
She
that's
didn't see
probably not
anything.
Freida McFadden's fault. That sounds like
True.
that sounds like an
That's
editor.
her publisher. Yeah.
Yeah, like that wasn't the right quote to put on the front
That's
because it's not like she's observing things from behind
no.
the attic door.
No, that's her PR firm. They did a bad job with that tagline. And I like
No.
the cover and that tagline just weren't it for me. Like, I don't know what else it could have been. I actually have no idea. But this wasn't it. Like, she wasn't looking through the keyhole. There wasn't even a key. Like,
Now we do have an exclusive alternative cover.
we do. Exclusive, never been seen before. Of the true American housemaid.
When I picked up this book, I was like, I am the housemaid.
You're looking at her.
You're looking at her.
She's
I
getting
was like,
tortured in a whole different way. With a baby and a toddler.
with a baby and a toddler and husband. I am literally a stay-at-home housemaid, and I
And you're
find
not even getting paid.
when she said, I'm gonna be honest, when she said she came downstairs and it was a mess again, I was like, ooh, been there.
Been there, done that.
I was like, this is my life.
Yeah.
Except it really was.
But it could have been. Like, this book could have been a lot better. That's all I'm saying.
And that's that.
And thanks for watching. I'm kidding.
No, seriously, thanks for listening to this conversation. This is kind of how our podcast is going to go. Our videos are going to go. We're just going to keep it lighthearted, chatty, side stories, no real structure, just talking about the book.
We're
Because
just chatting.
we just like to read and talk about our books. And yeah,
That's that.
that's that. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, follow along, recommend books for us to read. And I hope you guys have a great week.
Yeah, and happy reading. And I also want to say, I need to stop pointing my finger. That's what I need to say. I'm like, listen to this.
No, we're these type of people.
We are these. We are these type of people. I think our next book, are we doing The Rabbit Hole? Or Rabbit Hole? What's it called?
Yes, it's downloaded, it's popped, it's ready.
Perfect. This book, it's who is it by? Rabbit Hole by, I don't remember, but it was all over. Like when I was Google searching like 2024 most anticipated books, number one, number one, number one. And I was like, ooh, we have to read it. I think it's about this girl that just gets very deep into Reddit. And then it like brings up this like true crime case with her sister, and it's all Reddit. I didn't read too much into it, but I was like, oh, this is good because Hallie Ball was literally
Oh,
on Reddit earlier reading
I'm such
stuff
a
about.
Reddit girl.
You're a
If
Reddit
I
girl.
don't
I'm a true crime girl.
if I don't know something, I'm going to Reddit because I'm gonna get the truth.
That's that's where the truth lies. Reddit,
Wow.
if you're
Okay.
seeing this, sponsor us.
I'm literally closing out of this and starting this book. It sounds so good.
I'm gonna go get a physical copy, I think, because I really want to love this book. And I think if I have it,
Oh
I'll
yeah.
love it.
We can do like how other book
Ooh.
people do and they like hold up the book.
Ooh. Well, and you know what else? Sorry, I'm still talking about The Housemaid, but what
No.
else stinks about how we read it so long ago was I wrote my favorite, or not even my favorite, just quote, and maybe you can help me out. I wrote ballet drug dealer, page 109. What does that mean?
And that's okay. I don't know what that means, but I will point to like a lot of people said Millie's funny.
She is
Like,
funny.
have some jokes, and I do remember laughing, but I
Yeah.
like don't remember anything specific. But it's probably something like that.
And that's what's wrong with the book for me is that I was laughing and I wasn't like, my heartbeat wasn't racing. I was laughing. That's not a thriller to me.
Yeah, it was like, and I mean, here's to gauge for the readers. Like, probably like the other most recent thriller that I've read is Golden Couple. The
I haven't
Golden
read
Couple.
that.
Man, you got to read that. It's
Ooh.
really, really good. It's like this, but I think way more well written, and it's written by two female authors.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah. So, and so that's my like, that's as like far as I go. Like, and that isn't
Ooh.
far.
Yeah.
Just it's thriller,
It's a thriller.
gory. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this discussion. We're going to keep this format. I'm HP, this is Michelle, and we're your cover to cover girls.
Yay. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening.